Now on Spreaker Online Radio and via YouTube, it is time for afternoon cricket commentary. For the teams, the latest score and descriptions of play, let's join Matthew James Erskine.
Hello and welcome here to Lanchester Cricket Club, Ashley Park, for the 16th game of the season, and we're underway. We got underway at 1:30 with Lanchester winning the toss, Stuart McPhail the captain choosing to bat, and 75 for 3 in the 18th over, which has been bowled by Josh Renton at the moment, and he's made a pretty good start of it. Well, a very good start of it, in fact. 3 wickets so far from the young man who's opening the bowling today. And the 3 wickets to fall so far are Mark Small, Sam Crooks and Daniel Story. So those 3 have gone to Renton. Now he's running towards us here. We're down behind where first slip would stand on the boundary. And there's Greg Halliday, who plays this one away to the leg side. And it's picked up there by James Percival, who's bowled as well. And he trots up and picks it up, and that's the end of the 18th over. So 75 for 3 Lanchester after choosing to bat first here. And it's going to be Percival again. He just takes his hat and jumper off, and his cap and jumper, and gives it to umpire Aslam, who's at our end. So now we're broadcasting from down behind the long on boundary from the clubhouse here, and thank you to the nice people here at Lanchester Cricket Club, who as usual have let us broadcast from the clubhouse. Now here's Percival, goes in and bowls to Brinton, who's settled now at the crease, and he hits that one across to the left hand side, and it's fielded by Parker down there on the boundary at the houses, and it's thrown in. He's at deep cover and he throws it in, so one more run to Brinton there, and the score goes to 76. Now we've got no batsman scores on the scoreboard, but I'll keep you up to date when I get the scorecard through as soon as I can. But here's Halliday, who hits again away through that offside, and it's picked up by Scott there, who's in at extra cover, and he comes through for a single, does Halliday. So it goes to 77 for 3 in the 19th here. Percival bowling, and he's about to go again. Right arm over the wicket. We've got no slips. We've got a point, who's closest in at the moment, and that's quite a short one, and it didn't get up, and Brinton's on the back foot pushing it up there to Sam Peter, who's down, who's running from the long off boundary across to our left there and fielded that one, and Brinton adds another one to his total. So we've got a point, a third man, a gully in there, that's Josh Renton, a cover and extra, a mid-off as well, and a mid-on, and Halliday just pushes that one, dobs it down. That's good running from the batsman as Ewan Stevenson flies in there from square leg and tries to kick the ball under the stumps, and I think it hit the stumps, but Brinton was back into his ground safe enough. So one more to the total there. 79 for 3 now Lanchester, and we've had the mirage of colours this afternoon here already, because we've got a stern breeze coming up from the southwest as Percival's in away from us again, and Brinton hits this time into the left hand side and down towards Parker again at deep cover, who picks it up now and throws in, and Brinton gets himself another one, and that takes the score to 80 for 3 now. And we're in the 19th over. So good afternoon and welcome if you've joined us here on Cricket West Tyne for this 16th match of the season in Division 1. Percival to Halliday this time. Down the leg side it goes from a good line there, and it just swerved away, just nipped back maybe a touch there, and that breeze coming from the left maybe just took that ball down the leg side, and it's taken by Crichton behind the stumps. So that's the end of the over. 19 gone here. 19 overs gone. Lanchester 80 for 3 after choosing to bat first. The scorecard: Mark Small, LBW Josh Renton 12, Sam Crooks bowled Renton 7, Daniel Story caught Crichton, bowled Renton 1, and Graham Brinton 44 not out, and Greg Halliday at 1 not out, and it's Brinton on strike at our end here now. Renton about to bowl, 3 for 25 off 9 so far, as up he comes towards us and bowls to Brinton, who's back and tries to cut and he edges, and that's nicely fielded down here by Scott, I think it is, down on this third man boundary. So we've got a third man, we've got a fine leg, that's Archie Fletcher. James Percival in there at square leg, mid-off and mid-on in place as well. On the offside we've got a gully in there, a point, a cover and an extra cover and a mid-off as well. As in comes Renton again and bowls down the leg side this time, and Halliday just tries to play that one away but he misses it, and it comes through to Crichton, the wicketkeeper. And the other bowlers, Matthew Scott opened with Renton this afternoon, none for 18 off 6. And James Percival currently bowling at the moment. He's had 3 overs, no wickets for 23. A couple of sixes by Brinton off the youngest of the Percivals there. Renton again now to Halliday, and there's half a shout for caught behind there, but it went through Halliday. It was a good length ball and just nipped the slightest touch away from Halliday there. And he went forward and it came past just below the shoulder of the bat, and it was Rainford in at extra cover there who give the half appeal. But umpire Aslam doing both ends today, as in comes Renton bowling to Halliday again, who pushes forward at this one and pushes it back up the pitch there, and Renton picks it up and there's no run. And he throws the ball, he picked it up and threw it to gets Ewan Stevenson there at wide mid-off, and he pops a little catch back up to Renton, who turns and comes in at the angle to bowl to Halliday. Halliday is back in his crease by a ball that's skidded on there, and he just defended it. There's a shot at the stumps and it's overthrown, it's going out towards the scoreboard. Fletcher around quickly to pick it up, and he throws it in now. So on the double play there wasn't a single on to start with. They got 2 runs on the overthrow there, did Lanchester, and Halliday in particular, and it was Kant there who had a shot at the stumps from backward point, and it was Fletcher that cleaned up on the second play. But here's Renton again, up he comes and bowls full this time, and he plays forward, and that curved away, swerved away from the right-hander there. It was of a full length, but not quite full enough to be a half volley, and the breeze and maybe a little bit of movement off the pitch had Halliday playing and missing outside the off, and Crichton takes it. So that's the end of the over, the end of the 20th over there, and it's 83 for 3 now. Lanchester batting first here, and Brinton 47 not out, just 3 away from which will be a excellent 50 opening the batting here. He's played some cracking shots as well as a few Brinton bashes as well. But Percival goes in to bowl to him now, and he hits one high, and he might be caught here. Peter's chasing in from the straight deep boundary from our end here, but he doesn't get there. It just bounces in front of him, and he didn't time that one at all there, Brinton. It went straight up, rather a slice, and but fortunately he didn't get much power on it either. But in goes Peter now. He's up inside the circle for Halliday. There was 1 run there, so it's 84 for 3 now. And it's Percival who goes in to Halliday this time, and he just pushes for 1 out to the left there, and he comes through, and there's no run. There's a single, sorry about that, I beg your pardon, a single there, so 85 now, and Halliday has gone 2-4 with that shot. And it's Brinton on strike now, so we're watching Percival go into Brinton. Brinton stays in his crease and just plays that one off his hip out towards the leg side, and there's his 50 up, and there's just behind on the scorecard here, so there's 54 Graham Brinton. He gets a little shake of the hand from his batting partner there, Halliday. So the single into the leg side brings up 50, and the score's 86 for 3 as the sun comes out again here at Lanchester. 86 for 3 Lanchester in the 21st. Percival again now to Halliday, who closes the bat on that one, and he'll get a single between square leg and mid-on there. And it's Cant who went round to his right to field that one and throws it back to Percival. Brinton on the strike, and he now long off and long on, and now back on the boundary. And two deep square of the wicket as well. And there's Brinton playing out to Parker, who charges in from the boundary, from the houses there, and picks that one up, and Brinton gets himself a single. And that takes the score now to 88. So the field comes up again here for Halliday, batting with the wind turbines away up on the top there. Behind him is Percival's in. And that one's played behind square to the offside, and it's fielded there quickly by Renton in the gully, and that's the end of the over. So at the end of the 21st over, it's Lanchester 88 for 3. The 3 wickets that have fallen so far have all gone to Renton. Mark Small, Sam Cooks and Daniel Story, the men out for the home side here this afternoon, and the wickets fell at 41, 55 and 63. And there was just about 6 or 7 minutes between the second wicket there at 2:15, and that was Small, and then it was the third wicket fell just a few minutes after that. So Brinton pinning the innings here as Renton comes in to bowl to him again, and he drives this one. He's out, caught in the gully there, and I think it's Parker. Brinton, he swiped at that one. His bat, he didn't get the body across to it, and it took a thick outside edge. It went quite high, caught above his head there, and yes, it's Parker in the gully there. A backward point, we're just slightly inside it here, but a deepish gully at least. But the main wicket has gone there, and it's Brinton who's out, and Renton has his 4th wicket this afternoon. Renton has 4 now, and the 4th wicket fell when the score there was 88. So Brinton goes for a very well made 50, and Renton takes his 4th wicket as well. And all the Tynedale players out there have a little gathering now. And I'm just going to switch back. I've got the scorecard up here on the console, but this is a treacherous and fraught operation to get the different screens up without cutting the whole broadcast off, but I think I've just achieved it now. Yes, here we are, we're back on our broadcast screen. So 4 wickets down here for Lanchester, 22 overs. This is the 22nd. It's going to be Renton to continue, and he's bowling from the Concert Road end there, as a wagon just disappears away up towards Concert, away in the distance, along the main road, and the school's over beyond the trees there as well, St Bede's School at Lanchester. But in comes Renton now and bowls, and this one's just pushed into the leg side, and there's no run. So the score 88 for 4. Stacey Lavery just makes her way outside here from the clubhouse as a Safeway lorry now departs away up towards Concert. But I don't think it's a supermarket. They went out of they were sold out many years ago now. But here's Renton who's in and bowls again, and this one's turned to Percival there, who picks it up off the floor at square leg, and there's no run. As Renton just makes his way back up. Let's have a look at the field here. We've got a deepish gully there. We've got a deep cover and extra cover. Cover inside the circle, the 30-yard circle. We've got an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, a close mid-wicket, a square leg and a fine leg. Renton now bowls, and that one's played steadily away like the textbook, out into the offside there. And it's Stevenson who trotted up there from cover to pick that one up, and there was no run again to Lanchester. And now it's Potts in, who's batting, the right-hander. So both batsmen just wearing their caps at the moment. As in comes Renton again now, and that's turned behind square on the leg side. A nice diving stop by Percival there, James Percival that is, down to his right-hand side, behind the square leg umpire there. And Potts got one run there, so the score goes to 89 for 4 as the shadows drift laconically across the field here. The clouds, and I must say there's some big heavy looking grey clouds going across the sky, but they seem to be being blown along on this strong breeze. And there's a drive from Halliday, and he's got that between the two extra covers there, and it's going out towards the boundary. And there's umpire Aslam signalling 4, so 4 off the last ball of the over. A nice shot there from Potts it was, who played that one. And the two batsmen just have a chat in the middle there. At the end of the 22nd, it's Lanchester 93 for 4. And Renton has all 4 wickets, so he may be going towards his best bowling of the season so far. Indeed, I'll have a look at the book for later, but I think he's taken 4 wickets this season. But just having a look down there, Josh Renton, he's got a few wickets. I think it's 16 he's got so far this season. But no, he's got 12 at the moment so far. He's got 16 now, I beg your pardon. But it's going to be Percival now who start the new over, bowling to the right-hander Potts, who's forward and plays and misses outside the off stump. And it goes through to Crichton, who immediately gets rid of the ball there and folds his arms and surveys the scene. And so it's Percival again gets the ball back here. Now he's about to bowl again. This time he's bowling to Potts still. No slips in place. Bowls now wide of the off stump and tempts Potts again out there. And again he goes for it. He nibbled at it outside the off stump and plays and misses. So the scorecard, I'll go through it again in just a moment. After this next ball, as Sam Peter just pops up a little catch there to Percival. Now here he goes in past umpire Aslam and bowls to Potts, who drives forward, but doesn't time that one with any strength, and it just rolls back down towards us here, and it's intercepted by Percival the bowler, who sets off back towards his mark. So Graham Brinton caught Parker, bowled Renton 51. It's Mark Small, LBW Renton 12. Percival again to Potts, who drives again this time, and there's a good shot, nicely timed. Will it get there? It's got Sam Peter, his long legs chasing after it. He just pulls it in about a yard from the boundary across towards the houses, at wide long off there. And 2 runs there were added, and it's gone to 95 for 4 now. And Potts it is who's gone to 3 with that shot. Sam Crooks bowled Renton for 7. Daniel Story caught Crichton, bowled Josh Renton for 1. And Renton before this over 4 for 33 at the moment, as Percival moves in away from us here, bowling to Potts again, who's forward and drives square this time out towards Parker there on the deep cover boundary across to the left, in front of the terrace of houses with the big conservatory on the back. The first house on the row there, the red bricks, got a nice conservatory on the back, got all the windows open, but 1 or 2 people so far complaining of the chilliness and the breeze. It's been a bit fresher than of late. But Percival moves in again now to Halliday, who pulls away this time, and he might get 4, but it's fielded down there on the wide long leg boundary. And I think it was Renton who fielded that. Yes, it was, and he throws it in. So just 1 at the end of the over there for Halliday. So he moves on, and Lanchester now moved to 97 for 4 after 23 overs. That is, the scoreboard's just clicked over there. And now Renton's... I'll just update our scorecard here, because to see how many overs he's bowled now. Josh Renton 11 overs, 4 for 33, so this will be his last over of the afternoon here. 12 the full quota for the bowlers here in Division 1, Northumberland and Tyneside Cricket League, as Renton bowls to Halliday this time down the leg side. The length was good, but the line just sloping away back up and towards the leg side there. And the pitch, it's greenish in the middle. Lanchester won the toss and chose to bat. And it's not flat, the pitch. You can just see the curvature in it as Renton now moves in to bowl to Halliday again. And Halliday just turns a good length ball behind square on the leg side this time. And he gets one run. And it's Percival who runs round to his right to pick that one up. And the score goes to 98 for 4 in the 24th here. As Renton about to take the ball, gets a little catch thrown to him there by Fletcher up at the top end. So Renton moves in again, starts his run now into his wind-up with the windmills at his back there. And again he tempts Potts outside the off stump, and that was quite a wide ball there. Always shaping away here with the breeze, and that one definitely moved in the air away from the right-hander, and Potts was forward to it, but he didn't get in line with it, and he just moved the bat out towards it. It almost happened in slow motion there, but he missed it and it went through to Crichton. So here's Renton again now. Bowls another one that was shaping to move away from the right-hander, but it was Fuller this time, and Potts just pushes it back down the pitch and slightly to the leg side. He timed it quite well, and it's picked up by Fletcher there at mid-on, and there's no run. "98 for 4 Lanchester. Renton moves in again now, bowling to Potts. Full, and he's edged it, jammed the bat, and it's edged down towards us here on the third man boundary. And it's Scott who gets in position to field that one, picks it up now and throws it in. And Potts gets himself another single there, and the score moves to 99 for 4. And here's Renton again now. About to bowl to Halliday this time. And that's driven away, a punch shot. Half drive, half punch shot, and it's well stopped by Cant in there at cover, in the covers, and there's no run. And that's the end of the over, the end of the 24th. Lanchester 99 for 4. With Halliday and Potts at the crease. And we'll be back in just a short minute after we hear from our advertisement feature here on Cricket West Tyne.
You're listening to Cricket West Tyne program on Spreaker Online and Podcast Radio in association with the Royal Oak Country Pub, Cornsey Colliery, experts in business consultancy, and Cannon Bristle and Dairy Products. Drink well, eat well, do business well, listen well.
And here we are, we're having a change of bowler here, and it's going to be Tom Cant who's coming on to replace Percival at this end. And Cant it is, who right arm slow bowler. And this will be the last over before the drinks break here. And his first ball is going to be to Potts. And we've got a slip in place now. And a slight tickle in the throat here, but here's Cant for the first ball. He loops one up outside the off stump, and it's wide enough for umpire Aslam there to signal wide to the scorers. So that's the 100 up for Lanchester. Now here's Cant again, moves in, 2 Potts this time, and again he's going to get wide balled for it, and it's even beaten Crichton that time, so there'll be 2 to the total there. So that's the score up to 102 now. So here's Cant again, he's still got 6 left here. He's bowling to Halliday this time, who just backs off from the crease, but he has cant, and he goes and bowls, and it's full, and Halliday drives, but goes straight to Rainford there, in at extra cover, and there's no run. It's still 102 for 4 here. So he has cant again, moves up now and bowls. Driven on the full this time from Halliday, out towards Parker at deep cover, who picks up and throws in, and Halliday gets a single, and the score moves to 103 for 4. Cant moves in again now, away from us here, bowling to Potts this time, who pushes a full one up towards deep mid-on here. Percival for 1. And umpire Aslam just picks up his scorecard there. He just drops it on the floor and picks it up. And it's Halliday again, who's about to face Cant, with no slips in place. And that's wide of the off stump again, and left alone this time by Greg Halliday. And there's no run again, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out on the offside to the left, and Cant bowls again now, and that's chipped in the air, but it's Archie Fletcher in there, who was just wide and short of there. That was Halliday who chipped that one in the air, and there were shouts out there of catch it, but it just fell short of all the fielders closest to Fletcher. So 1 to the total there, and it's Halliday who scored it. It's 105 for 4. Cant again to Potts this time, who drives just in front of square this time on the offside, and it's Parker who fields again there at deep cover, and that's the end of the over. So now I've got this tickle out my throat. I think it's gone for the time being. It's the drinks break in the first innings here, so a chance to update you on the action so far. So in the 16th game of the season here, Lanchester versus Tynedale, Division 1 of the Northumberland and Tyneside Cricket League. Lanchester won the toss and are currently 106 for 4 after 25 overs in the first innings here. And the wickets so far have all gone to Josh Renton. And he's taken so far 4 for 33. And I'll just update my scorecard here. I think he's bowled all his 12 overs now. Yes, he has. His final figures there, 12 overs, 4 for 35. So congratulations to him on an excellent effort this afternoon. And Tynedale missing a few of their players, senior players, the 2 Newtons not here. Sam Mannion out, perhaps because of that injury sustained, and Colin McCabe not here either. So we've got 2 Fletchers, Holly and Archie in. We've got Matty Scott in the team again for Tynedale. We've got... who's the other one? James Percival in there. Now he's already bowled as well. He's got none for 37 off 6 so far. But the scorecard: Graham Brinton caught Daniel Parker, bowled Renton for 51. Mark Small, LBW, Renton for 12. Crooks bowled Renton for 7. And Story caught Crichton, bowled Renton 1. And Greg Halliday 13 not out, and Brian Potts is 5 not out at the moment. And the wickets have fallen at 41, 55, 63 and 88. The teams for the day: Tom Cant, apart from the ones I've mentioned, James Percival and Archie and Ollie Fletcher. We've got Tom Cant, Jamie Crichton, Dan Parker, Rainford, James Rainford, Ewan Stevenson, Sam Peter, Josh Renton and Matthew Scott. And for Lanchester, Stu McPhail, Brian Potts, Dan Story, Mark Small, Graham Brinton, Sam Cooks, Hayden Petch, Callum Barnes, Aaron Halliday, Greg Halliday and Kieran Taylor. So the drinks break just about over here, and the tickle away out the throat. Potts out there just restrapping his gloves up. So welcome, and you're more than welcome to listen here on our first broadcast of the afternoon here on Cricket West Tyne on Spreaker Internet Radio. And if you're joining us from wherever you are, I hope you got some cricket going on, or you're watching some cricket as well. So I think we're going to have Scott to come back on now. Scott opened the bowling with Renton. I'm just going to have a look through the binoculars here. We've got a little dog outside the window here, just exercising a bit. He's got on a long leash at the minute. But yes, it's going to be Matthew Scott who's coming back on to bowl at the moment for Tynedale. But he swapped ends. None for 18 so far for his 6. But here he comes towards us this time, bowling to Potts with no slips. Potts goes forward and pushes for 1 to the left of extra cover there. And he goes through, and that brings Halliday on to strike at this end. And the score goes to 106 for 4. Lanchester after winning the toss and batting. And the ball just round there with Scott again now. His dark hair swirls in the wind. His shirt blows out as he comes up and bowls now to Halliday, who's forward, and just plays this one out to the offside again, and it's fielded there by Rainford, who's in at extra cover. So the field here, we've got a third man in. We've got a backward point. We'll have a deep cover, an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, a mid-wicket, a forward deep square leg, and a fine leg. In comes Scott again now and bowls to Halliday down the leg side, and there may have been the slightest glance of something on that one, but it looked like a trouser leg. But Crichton was diving away to his left there to take that one, and he does so safely enough. And Potts, Halliday at the wicket it is, on strike at the moment for Lanchester. As in comes Scott again, and it's full, and it's driven this time. A nice shot for, signalled by umpire Aslam there, so a good shot there from Halliday. It was quite full and quite wide, and it was moving again. It moved in the air, but not far enough to make any difference there to the drive shot, and Halliday puts 4 more to the total, which takes the score to 110. As we've got a problem with the scoreboard now. Well, not the scoreboard per se, one of the doors is blown shut on it there. So here's Scott again now, who bowls to Halliday again, who pushes forward, and it goes out onto the leg side, but not far up to Fletcher there at mid-on, and there's no run, and Fletcher gives the ball a good polish on his right thigh as well there. And just looking down the figures here, well done to Lanchester today. Some nice match programmes here, and Halliday so far before this game 208 runs for the season, just under 19 every time he's gone to the wicket. And Scott bowls another one outside the off stump this time, and it goes through to Crichton, left alone that time. And Potts at the other end there. I see he's in the Lanchester Cricket Club. They've got a little page, three-sided flyer here. He's in the player profile. And it's Scott again now, who's about to bowl, comes in towards us, and it's Halliday who's forward this time and just pushes back down the pitch and slightly to the offside, where it's fielded by Rainford there, and there's no run, and that's the end of the over. So Lanchester, after 26 overs here, they chose to bat first, 112 for 4. They got a good start with Brinton and Mark Small. Brinton indeed took the upper hand in the first part of the innings, in the first half here, but he was caught at backward point, or in the wide, good deep gully position. He breezed at one outside the off stump, and it was well caught by Parker in there, and it was Renton who took the wicket, as indeed he's taken all 4 this afternoon, 4 for 35 so far. So he has canned about to bowl again. He's got the deep man in at long on at least, and he's bowling 2 Potts, and that's a flatter one bowled outside the off stump, and umpire Aslam just has a little look at that one. He bowled 2 wides with the first 2 balls of his last over, Cant. But I can see trying to drift it in on the breeze here. The breeze is coming across from his left. He's bowling away from us here. Here he goes, but a little flatter and a little faster this time outside the off stump, and he's maybe seen as well that Potts hasn't been averse to just going and chasing them outside that off stump. As Kant gets the ball back now. Here he's back at the end of his mark. He's about to move in again past umpire Aslam. Potts is forward this time and just turns it round the corner just behind square, and it's fielded now and thrown in. So Potts gets himself off strike there, and he gets a single, and the score goes to 113 for 1. For 1, I beg your pardon. 113 for 4, Lanchester. And Potts there at the non-striker's end. His favourite TV show is Dexter. But he has Kant about the ball, and he doesn't. Just maybe lost a grip of the ball there in his right hand. Umpire Aslam just signals a dead ball to the scorers. And now Kant's back at his mark. Fresh off county duty, where he led his team to a draw. Northumberland versus Bedfordshire. And that one's bowled outside the off stump, and Halliday just leaves this one alone, and it thumps into Crichton's pads there. Indeed, Sam Peter down there as well. He took his first county wicket, senior county wicket, in the Minor Counties Championship earlier in the week, as Kant bowls again, full this time. And it's Halliday who stretches for that one and drives it on the full out to Parker there with extra cover. And there's a single to Halliday there, and the score goes to 114 for 4 in the 27th. We've got no batsman scores on the scoreboard at the minute, but I'll update you at the end of this over, as there's Kant again who bowls, and this one's played late up towards short third man there, and Potts sent back by Halliday there. Looked for the single, but that's the end of the over. The end of the 27th, 114 for 4 Lanchester after 27. And at the wicket at the moment is Potts. And he's on at the moment 8, and Greg Halliday, who's 19 not out. And Scott at the top end is about to take up the attack, and he'll be running towards us here, placed in the clubhouse down behind, just wide of the wicketkeeper, about where a wide first slip would be standing, in front of a most colourful pot of flowers, as Matty Scott this time bowls in towards us here, and Halliday just pushes that one out into extra cover there, close extra cover there, and that's Rainford, and there was no run. So we've got a third man, we've got a backward point, we've got a deep cover, have we just gone see round the corner there, but we've got a short extra cover, and we've got a mid off and a mid on, a deep forward square leg and a fine leg. As in comes Scott again and bowls full this time, and it's driven, but it's straight along the ground there, and Rainford picks it up one-handed with his right hand and forces Potts to make a dash for the crease as he turned round there, but no danger, and it's thrown back up there to Scott again. So Scott bowling, Scott to Halliday, comes in towards us, and he lets that one go outside the off stump, and it goes thump into Crichton's gloves, standing about 30-40 yards in front of us there. He's got no company at the minute, there's no slips in place, but just 3 on the leg side, 6-3 in favour of the offside at the moment. We've got Scott again to bowl, and he comes, ball's full, and that's whipped away off his middle stump by Halliday, and Parker's safe as a sandbag down there on the deep mid-wicket boundary now. He throws in, and 1 added to the total there, so it goes to 116 now for 4 Lanchester in the first innings here, and our first broadcast here on Cricket West Tyne this afternoon. As Scott again about to come in, Potts isn't ready, just settles in now, a very offset stance, as Scott runs up towards him and bowls, and he hits that one hard up towards deep mid off there, and it's Stevenson who gets that long stretchy body of his down to pick that one up off the ground, and there's no run as a cabbage white butterfly just disappears towards the clubhouse door there and decides not to go in, flies away over the roof, and Scott has the ball back at that top end again. A few grey clouds in the distance over towards Concert there, but they're going away from us. And there's a big swipe and an inside edge from Potts this time, and he's going to get a lucky 4 runs that time. It was an ugly looking cross-batted swipe, and it took the bottom edge, the inside edge, and went past the leg stump. Beat the wicketkeeper Crichton, and it beat Percival and Fletcher down here at third man and fine leg. So a 40 end the over there, and that after 28, Lanchester just about first, or 119 for 4 at the moment, with Potts there and Halliday. The 4 men gone so far: Brinton, Small, Crooks and Story, and all 4 wickets have gone to Josh Renton, who's finished his quota, 12 overs, 4 for 35. As Kant takes up the attack again and lobs one up that time, and it's driven hard out towards Parker again across to the left, and he throws in, and Halliday is kept to 1 that time. The sturdy looking Greg Halliday out there. He's just in his cap today, shirt tucked in, shirt sleeves on, defying the breeze out there as the sun just drifts away behind a cloud again. As in goes Kant and bowls, and that one's pushed down to the leg side, but Kant's quickly across and picks that one up, gives the ball a little polish before he's back behind umpire Aslam here to turn again and go into bowl. Here he is now, just his arms spread out as he runs in now to Potts. This time he comes forward and then steps back and pulls it away out to the leg side, and it's fielded across there in the deep to the right hand side, and it's thrown in, and Potts just gets a single. The score goes to 121 for 4 in the 29th here, Lanchester. So Kant now to Halliday, and that's outside the off stump this time, and Halliday chops the bat down on it. Not much foot movement there, but it goes straight out on the ground to Fletcher, who's at backward point. So we've got a short fine leg, a short third man, a backward point, a deep cover and extra, mid off and long on, as Halliday is forward to this, bat and pad together there, gets a high left elbow and steers it down into the ground, smothers it down there into the leg side, and Crichton picks up and throws it back to Kant. Now Kant's back again, so we'll go to the end of this over on our first broadcast this afternoon. Bowls a quicker one this time, and edged, and it's going up there towards short third man, and I think there was a little misfield there by the fielder there, and it's 4 runs, so 4 to the total, and that takes it to 125 for 4. No slips in place there for Kant, and an edge for 4 to Halliday at the end of that over. But there we go. So at the end of our first broadcast here, Lanchester, who chose to bat first after winning the toss, 125 for 4 after 29. And the men out so far: Brinton, Small, Crooks and Story. Renton's taken all 4 wickets. Scott is bowled as well. He's none for 24. Percival none for 37. Kant none for 7 so far. That'll have changed because it hasn't quite updated with his last over. But from here at Lanchester at the moment, I'll speak to you again at 4 o'clock our next broadcast, and we'll be pushing towards the tea break by then. But from me here, Matthew James Erskine at Lanchester Cricket Club, it's been a pleasure, and I'll speak to you again at 4 o'clock. And with the score at 125 for 4 for Lanchester, which it's just gone to 129 for 4 after Potts has just struck a 4 there. But until 4 o'clock, I'll leave you with Lanchester at 129 for 4.